Peace, everyone. Happy New Year. If you're listening right now, just put hashtag in the comments. If you're listening in the near and dear future, put hashtag replay. I'm Evolve Benton, the Speaking for Profit coach, and today we're talking about the top 5 ways to find Speaking 24. I am looking forward to this conversation and giving y'all some gems, giving y'all some tips, and giving y'all some strategies on how you can build a profitable and sustainable speaking and consulting business right now this year. And I'm just really excited for y'all. So do me a favor, put into the comments, where are you watching from? Where are you currently watching from? We want to put that into the comments so that we can see who's here in the here and now and what you got going on. All right. See some things coming in. Thank y'all so much for being here. So we're talking about the 5 ways to find speaking gigs in 2024. And I'm going to be giving you this based off of strategies that I've been able to use with several of my clients the last couple of years. And I've also utilized for myself. This is actually some strategies that I'm going to be doing in the next couple of weeks to make sure that my calendar is full of opportunities for this year. I'm really focusing on, as a speaker, really committing to the process and getting my brand out there, like really growing my brand, growing my voice, and making sure that more people know about me, know about my business, and know about what I'm doing. Right. So I'm really excited to get in this conversation. Oh, thank you so much, Baron. We're gonna have to figure out that pronunciation. But thank you so much, Mr. Warren. I appreciate your love and your support. You're always so supportive. So let's get into our conversation today. For folks who don't know, I go live every week. We go live every week on Wednesday at 3:30 EST. So you should get into it. You should be here. If you are not on our text message list, go on and join that. You just want to text the word speak to 323-405-9492. And that'll give you an opportunity to be reminded weekly to join us for these free live trainings so that you can continue to build out your profitable and sustainable speaking and consulting business. So let's get into the content for today, which is the 5 ways to find speaking gigs in 2024. So number one, the first way, right, to find speaking gigs in 2024 and to really be connected to it is really about you creating your own stage. You creating your own stage. And feel free, y'all, if you ain't got your notebook out yet, this is the time to bring it out so that you can take some notes. But about you creating your own stage. And what I mean by that is oftentimes what I see is that many speakers will spend the majority of their time trying to get on other stages. What I mean by that, like, I really want to speak at a college campus. I really want to speak at this event. And that's great. But how are you utilizing your voice as a speaker consistently and making sure that you're creating your own stage? So, what does that look like to create our own stage? One of the ideas that many of my clients do in Speaking for Profit Academy, which is my core program where I work with diverse leaders who want to learn how to grow their speaking business in the next 12 months to 6 figures and above, is that they will create what we call their own live shows or their own live podcasts and events. So that looks like what I'm doing right here with y'all right now. I'm creating my own stage. I'm not waiting for someone to give me an opportunity to teach you all about the business of public speaking. I'm here right now creating my own stage. I created a landing page. I sent you all out an email reminder. This is an event that's on my own YouTube channel, that's on my own platform. By the way, if you're watching on YouTube, go on and like and subscribe. But what are ways that you can do that for yourself? Now, many of you will tell me, I'm busy. I got kids. I got a job. I can't go live every week, Evolve. I can't create my own stage. So, what I want you to really think about is it's not important about the volume, about how much you do it. What's important is that you're consistent with your audience and that you're honest with your audience. So, if you say you're going to go live once a week, go live once a week. If you say you're going to go live the third Wednesday of the month, do that. Whatever you're able to do, you should be consistently creating your own stage because, one, when you create your own stage, you go live or you have a podcast, you have a show, number one, you're building your own platform and you're not focused on organizations. But number two, you're practicing your skill set. So if y'all go look at videos of me probably about 2 years ago when I was going live, I wasn't as comfortable as I am with y'all today. I wouldn't even look at the camera. A lot of times I would be like looking over to the side. I was just really nervous. I just didn't have the confidence. But every day that I go live, I get better and better and get more comfortable with it. And I want that same comfortability for you. So, the number one way to find paid speaking opportunities in 2024 is not to wait. Create your own stage, right? Can you create a show? Can you create a podcast? Can you go live once a week? Can you create your own community where you're able to share with folks? Hey, I'm still interested. Okay, great, cool, definitely. Tell me a little bit more about what you're interested in. If you're interested in Speaking for Profit Academy, we are not in open enrollment right now, but we will be opening open enrollment very soon. But I will give you all some information about how you can work with me before this live is over with. But thank you for sharing your interest. So that's the number one way, y'all. We got to create our own stages. The number two way to find paid speaking gigs in 2024 is to get in conversation with decision makers. And I talk to you about this all the time, right? Throughout the 5-day challenge that I do, throughout my curriculum, going live with y'all on a weekly basis. You've got to get in conversation with decision makers. And oftentimes, when I say that, the question that I get from the majority of folks is, what's considered a decision maker? Who's a decision maker, right? So I want you to think about it this way. Depending on your industry, the decision maker is the person who brings in the talent, brings in the speaker, brings in the consultant. The decision maker isn't always the person who's signing the checks, though. So I think about myself. I come from the background of higher education. I actually worked at colleges and universities for almost a decade before I started to do this full time. And I was an assistant director. I also had someone who was under me who was a program manager. Then I had a boss who was a director. Now, the way that I set, sometimes I would be involved with programming, but I would be involved more on a higher level. How do we get more people there? What are the campus partners that we need to invite? But the person who had really the most power on bringing in speakers was that program manager, because they were in charge of the programs that were going to be happening at our LGBT center that I was working at. My director only came in to sign off the check and to say, hey, this is how we pay this person, right? So for you, thinking about your industry, who's the decision makers that you need to be having conversations with, and how do you get in more conversations? There's two ways that you can do this today. One, if you haven't already, go on and create a LinkedIn profile and start getting in conversations with folks who are on LinkedIn that are in your niche that are decision makers. Start building relationships with them. And I want to say build relationships because some of you can be really transactional. So you don't want to go right into the conversation like, hey, can you pay me to speak? Hey, do you have a paid opportunity? No. Get to know them. Be very curious. Be a problem solver. Figure out if there's actually something that you can do for them in their organization, and then get them on a call and find out if you all can collaborate with one another. So that's the first way, right? The very first way. Good afternoon, Thomas. Thank you so much for being here. That you can get in conversation with decision makers. The second way to get in conversation is to look at your local events that are happening in your backyard. Like what's happening for entrepreneurs, what's happening for speakers and consultants, what's happening under your niche. If you're speaking to DEI, if you're speaking to leadership, emotional intelligence, the various topics, are there networking events that are happening in your local area that you can attend so that you can get to know more people? This is game changer, y'all, because believe it or not, a couple of years ago, right, we had a whole pandemic where you couldn't even get out and meet people and get in conversation. So take advantage of the opportunities that are there. And many of you are in cities and locations where there are networking events happening on a weekly basis, and you just need to show up and be there so that you can meet the right people. Now, when you get to those networking events, right, it's important that you do your due diligence and not just go and be a fly on the wall, but you really interact with people and you be in a good headspace where you can build relationships and start to get in conversations with people about potential opportunities. You might not meet the person who's the decision maker, but you might meet the person who knows the decision maker. So the more people who know about you, your business, and your service, the more people who can refer you and who can support you in that growth. So those are the top two ways, right, to find paid speaking opportunities. The first one, create your own stage. What are ways that you can be utilizing your voice on a regular basis, sharing and showcasing your expertise? And two, getting in conversations with decision makers on LinkedIn, doing cold emailing, or even going to some networking events. So, for folks who are just joining us, today we're talking about 5 ways to find paid speaking gigs in 2024. And I'm going through the first two. Now I'm going to go to number 3, which is apply to speak at conferences and events. Apply to speak at conferences and events. There are triple the amount of events that happened last year happening this year. I live in Atlanta, Georgia, and literally I was looking up events the other day, and there's an event probably once a week that's happening. So I'm gonna give you some pro tips when you think about applying to conferences. Number one, when you're applying to a conference, they're oftentimes not gonna pay you to be a speaker, especially if you're going to the event the first time. But what you can do is you can go and present a workshop. This is a great opportunity for you to get in front of decision makers because the majority of the people who are at that conference have some form of professional development that they've been able to utilize to get to the event. And they probably have the decision making skills and leadership to be able to bring you to their organization. So you want to go, you want to apply, you want to do a workshop. And the reason I say conferences and events, I want you to think about local. I don't want you to be spending all your money to go speak at these events that you're not even getting paid for. I want you to think about your economy, your money, and how it's going to go, right? So put into Google, say call for presenters, put your niche. What's your niche? Right? Call for presenters, diversity, equity, inclusion. Call for presenters, faith-based speaker. Call for presenters, diversity, equity, inclusion, or leadership, emotional intelligence, whatever it is, and then put your city and see what events pop up. You'll be surprised. There's several events that are going to pop up that you can be at, and I want you to start applying to them. I have a goal personally to apply to 100 conferences this year because I know volume matters. So if I apply to 100, right? Probably at least 10 are going to select me and want me to come and speak. And that's going to be great because what I'm going to do is when I get in front of that audience, number one, I'm going to over deliver and I'm going to kill it because I've been practicing every day or every week, right? Building my own stage. And then number two, I'm going to use a tool like Talkadot or a survey tool to ask the audience to give me feedback, but also to ask the audience if there's an opportunity for me to come and work with them in their organization. I love Talkadot for that, y'all. If you haven't utilized it yet, I suggest that you do. And what I'll do is I'll grab the link for Talkadot so that y'all can check it out. Just in case you want to try it, I have a, believe it or not, a referral link from the leader and CEO of Talkadot. So I'll put that into, let me just go on and grab it. I'll put that in the chat for y'all. It's a great platform because it allows you, this is free too, y'all. You don't have to pay for Talkadot. This is something that's free, so don't worry about that. I'll put it into the chat for y'all. But what's great about it is that you can put up a QR code on your screen, and then the participant clicks it. It takes them over to a survey. It asks them about your own speaking experience, like how you were, how you articulated, if they want to hear you speak again. But then there's also some questions that are planted in there that will ask the audience, particularly if they have paid speaking opportunities. So you walk away with a list of people that you can follow up with after that conference or that event to be able to get more opportunity. The reason that I'm applying to 100 events is because I want to get out there more and I want to break out of my local area, not just out of Atlanta, because I've only been here a while, but I have a lot of connections in California. I have a lot of connections to my past career, and I want more people to know about me. And I know conferences and events will allow me to do that. Right. So that's the third one. I want you to go online and I want you to find at least 10 conferences, summits, events that you're going to apply to be a speaker at so that more people can know about you, your brand, and your business. All right, cool. So Quick plug for folks who might have just got on here. I just want to share with you that for 2024, I'm going to be going live every week. I'm committed to providing you all with at least anywhere between a 25 to 45-minute training once a week on Wednesdays at 3:30 p.m. EST. 3:30 p.m. EST. I'm going to be doing that. And I would love for you all to show up and show out and be in the space with me, right? So if you want to make sure that you're there, all you got to do is go on and text the word speak to 323-405-9492. And what we'll do is we'll send out a text message every week so that people can get to know us and get to know about the training and you don't miss one. And then the replays will always be available on YouTube for you if you ever want to check that out. So we went through the first three, y'all, right? The first three ways that you can find paid speaking opportunities. Let's go through the last two. Number four is I want you to consider this, especially if you have cash flow in your business. If you've been trying to find paid speaking opportunities for a while and you feel like you are hitting your head right against a wall and you're like, I don't know how to do this. I really feel a calling to do it, but I can't figure it out. Or maybe you're getting opportunities, but it's only through referrals, right? It's only people that you know. I want you to think about hiring a coach. Hiring a coach, hiring a business coach to be able to support you to develop your business. I am one that really believes in coaching. I have actually two coaches. Today I got off of two coaching calls, one with Doug, shouts out to Doug, who's helping me with building out my 5-day challenge that I've been working on and committing to once a month. And then I have another coach named Danielle Leslie, who's really been supporting me on the back end to learn how to grow my brand through major impact and through adding like ads and various things to my business. So for you, I would suggest you investing in a coach. Like it could be me. I would love to work with you, especially if we're aligned to work together. But I think that what often happens is that people spend a lot of time working on the foundational things in their business and not implementing because of fear and also because they don't know what to do. So, what a coach can give you is the roadmap to success. The roadmap to success. Most of us have already failed, y'all, right? When I first got started, I was sending out cold emails like once a week. And I remember I sent out so many emails and did so much work. And I think that first year I made like maybe $10,000. And slowly but surely, I began to figure out how to do this in a particular way. And I built out a model. And then I was like, yo, I want to teach my friends, I want to teach my homies how to get paid to speak. And I started teaching people. So not only have I ran this model, but I have several clients who have ran it and been successful. So no matter what coach you're picking, make sure you do your due diligence when you're looking them up. They're going to have a lot more information and you're going to be able to skip past a lot of those failures so that you could be successful. So you want to hire someone who can support you in your growth. Even if you're getting paid to speak, guaranteed you're probably not charging enough or you're just not thinking about how you can make more money from that experience. So just think about it. Consider hiring someone that can support you in your growth and support you in your business growth. Now, someone said that they're still interested, right, in working with me. And our core program, Speaking for Profit Academy, is not open for open enrollment. But something that we just started doing, y'all, which I'm really excited to share with you all, is that we do have an opportunity, if you all are interested, to join our Speaking for Profit Circle. And our Speaking for Profit Circle is an opportunity for you to get coached by me once a month, right? We have one monthly coaching call a month. We also will drop an exclusive masterclass for that group every month as well. So this month we dropped a masterclass on how to utilize actually the tool Talkadot that I was talking to you all about today to find paid speaking opportunities. The month before we did a masterclass on how to utilize ChatGPT to build out a cold email sequence. So it's a really cool community. And if you want to join it, all you've got to do is go over to speakingforprofit.com/circle, speakingforprofit.com/circle. It's $97 a month for you to get coaching from me once a month to be able to support you with your growth and with your business. And we will be honored to have you, right? What my goal is to build a membership in a community that has like minded individuals just like you, diverse leaders who want to secure the bag, but really who want to change the world. Because I'm gonna be honest with y'all, most of the folks that I work with are not just speaking about motivation, they're speaking about innovation, they're speaking about the future, they're speaking about racism, and they're speaking about homophobia and things that are going to cure our society from being so sad and depressed and not feeling good about themselves. So I work with a lot of purpose driven people. And if you are a purpose driven speaker, consultant, entrepreneur, and you want a community where you could be supported, not just to make money, because we all gonna make money, y'all. I'll be honest with y'all. We the money team. We trying to make money. If you're trying to make money, put money in the comments. But bigger than money, I want to be able to support you with your impact and the culture that you're building at your organization. So the Speaking for Profit Circle is a great way to get started working with me, and you can enroll in that today if you're interested in being coached by me, which I'm really excited to work with some of y'all and support y'all in that. And and I know some of y'all have been waiting for this type of opportunity in my core program. It's a few $1,000s a year to be able to work with me on that level, but I wanted to create something that could be more accessible for folks who are just getting started. So just go on over to Speaking for Profit Circle, speakingforprofit.com/circle, and you can get that information and get started working with us today. So that's the fourth way to find paid opportunities, y'all. I want y'all to consider, whether you hire me or someone else, hiring some support, hiring a coach to really be able to bounce ideas off of, and someone that can support you in growing and taking your business to the next level. I believe in coaching. I believe in therapy. I have some spiritual advisors. My godmother is here right now, right in the audience, because you just never know who can give you a perspective that can change your life and can change your business. So I'm really passionate about asking for help and making sure that we actually invest in it. So the fifth way, right? The fifth way to find paid speaking opportunities in 2024 is having a follow-up process. And I want you to write that down. Follow up. Having a follow-up process, follow up, right? And what I mean by follow up is, if you get an opportunity from an organization, they bring you in to speak. When I get an opportunity, I'm already thinking to myself, if I really enjoy working with this group, if I really enjoy working with this organization, excuse me, can we do it again? Can we work with each other again? So the way that I have my follow-up process set up is, I usually will book a call after the opportunity to get feedback. And this is great anyways, because you want to know how you did. And maybe they can get to fill out your talkabout or your survey, right? Oftentimes the organizer of the event didn't get to do that because they're busy trying to help you run the event. So I always schedule a follow-up call with them to talk about my performance, to talk about what are ways that we can work together again, and what are ways I can continue to support them. What I'm usually already thinking about, y'all, also is, can I put together a proposal for them before that call so that I already have some things in my back pocket to say, hey, Jim, hey, Ken, hey, Sarah, this was great. I'm thinking we could work together on this level. I put together some workshops or a proposal of ways that we might be able to continue to collaborate and support one another. So many of you are working hard because you decide to work with the organization one time and then you don't do business with them again. So you really got to shift your business model to stop thinking about just one opportunity and thinking that that one opportunity can turn into potentially a residency or other opportunities for you to work with that organization, especially if you're speaking at a college or a university. Most of the time, you're going in and you're speaking for one department. That one department has a budget, but you got to think, it's a big school. There's several other departments. So can they refer you out to someone else who might need your service? That's a great question to ask, especially if you work with somebody and you're like, I don't know if I want to work with them again, Evolve. Like I enjoyed speaking with their audience, but maybe they were a little unorganized. Maybe you just didn't enjoy necessarily working with them. Asking them for a referral can always be helpful. This is a reputation and relationship business. So if you struggle at building relationships, you might struggle at finding paid speaking opportunities, to be honest with you. You've gotta turn that on. And building relationships is not always about getting money quickly. If you wanna get money quickly, go sell some t-shirts. I used to sell t-shirts. That's how I know this. People are willing to give you $20 real quick, right? That's quick money. But if you want long money, money that's gonna be bring longevity to you, your business, and your financial freedom, you really got to get focused on building those relationships, right? So those are the 5 ways. I'm going to go through them one more time so that you all can get that information and make sure that you have it down in your notes. So the first way to find paid speaking opportunities in 2024 is to create your own stage. Don't be afraid to create your own podcast, your own event that you do on a consistent basis. Consistency depends on you and what you and your audience agree to. Me, I'm agreeing to go live once a week, every Wednesday at 3:30 EST. If that changes, I will let y'all know. Number 2, you want to get into conversations with decision makers, and to make sure that you do this, y'all, put it on your calendar. Put some time on your calendar that says, hey, this is the time I'm going to spend on LinkedIn, reaching out to people I don't know, getting in conversation with decision makers. Once a month, I'm going to go to a networking event in my local area, and I'm going to get into conversations with decision makers so that more people can know about me and my business. So that's number 2, get in conversation with decision makers. Number 3 is that you apply to speak at conferences in your local area so that you can continue to grow your brand and more people can get to know about you and your business. You also will have an audience there that is primed to buy from you, and they'll be excited to hear from you. And most likely, you'll get some paid opportunities from those events. Number 4 is you want to make sure that you hire a coach to support you with your growth and your development so that you don't have to make a lot of the mistakes that many of us have made the last couple of years as speakers and consultants. You can skip past that and get quickly to the bag and quickly to some opportunity. And then number 5 is that you don't think about contracts as just one-off opportunities. You set yourself up a follow-up process so that you're able to connect with the organization beyond that one opportunity, or you're able to get a referral out of it so that you can spend less time trying to find more people. The goal is that through building your business and over delivering from the stage, eventually you have a speaking and consulting business where people are calling on you and you're doing less outreach. Ultimately, the more people that know about your business, that's going to happen. But you got to realize many of you just got started. And even if you've been doing this for 5, 10 years, you're just getting started. I talked to some speakers who've been doing this 20, 30 years and they're like, I'm booked and busy, but that's because they have reliable and predictable income. So many people already know about them and what they do. So for you, you've got to realize more people have to know you. And in order for you to do that, you have to have some type of mechanism to continue to grow your audience. So 2024, y'all, it's going to be a really fruitful year for speakers and consultants. I can feel it. I can feel it in the energy. I can feel it in all the events that are already being promoted. And the real question is, are you going to set up your own system so that you can be in the space to be rewarded for having that strategy and for having it together? And I want to be able to support you to do that, right? So if you're interested in being supported, go on and join the Speaking for Profit Circle. Go over to speakingforprofit.com/circle. We'll be happy to really welcome you into this community and to give you some much needed support. So real quick before I go, because I see that someone had a question about what's included in the circle. Let me bring this up for y'all just so I can share it, because I know some people are visual learners. I'm one of those people. So being able to see things visually sometimes helps me a little bit more. So just give me one moment. I'm going to bring up um, the Speaking for Profit Circle page just so you could see it. And then that'll help you to be able to see if it's something that will be helpful for you and your business. Because I see someone ask that question. And if anybody has any other questions, feel free to go on and put them into the chat and I'll answer those. So this is the page when you go over to Speaking for Profit Circle. If you click here, it's going to take you down to the payment. You can either do $97 a month or $997 a year. And we have some bonus trainings that are already within the circle that you're going to get access to. But one of them is your Crafting Your Signature Talk Masterclass. Every month we have a new theme of the month. This month is New Year, New Money. And what we usually also do is have some type of challenge that's also a part of it so we can keep each other accountable. So there'll be a monthly theme and a monthly challenge. You'll get monthly Q&A calls with me. And then you'll also get our exclusive portal of information and resources, templates, contracts, different things that you can use to grow your speaking business. And then you're also going to get support from our community. And like I said, we have some additional videos in there to support you as well. So if you're interested, you would just go on the page, you would click join the circle, and then it's going to take you over here, ask you to fill out your information. Once you've put your investment information in, you'll get an email from us that will say, welcome to the Speaking for Profit Circle, immediate access to that information, access to our calendar. And I believe our next Q&A call is next week. So you'll be invited to that call so you can bring any questions that you have. It's on Zoom, it's not on YouTube. So you get direct access to me to ask your questions and we can kind of support you. The Speaking for Profit Circle, just to be clear for folks too, is really your right hand support to help you get your first contract. So if you've already been paid to speak and you're trying to make it more consistent, this space is for you. If you have already been paid to speak and you're trying to scale to 6 or 7 figures, then our academy program would be better for you. And like I said, it's not an open enrollment, but in the next couple of days, we will have an opportunity to welcome people who are interested in being a part of the academy. But for now, for folks who just want to get started working with me, you can go on and join the Speaking for Profit Circle. So I hope that gave clarity because I see that someone put that into the chat. They're like, what do I get in the circle? What is it all about? And I hope that gave you the clarity that you need to have more of an understanding of what we're offering there. Any other questions, y'all, about how to find paid speaking opportunities in 2024? I'm just going to give it a few minutes to see if we get anything else in the chat. And if you don't have any questions, just do me a favor, put into the comments, what is one tip that you're walking away with today that you're going to implement? Because what I know, y'all, is information is great, but if you don't implement it, it's not going to go nowhere. So if you don't have a question, what is one thing that you plan on implementing from today's training so that you can continue to grow your business? Go on and share that in the comments. And then I am going to head out so that I can go on an afternoon walk and get some sun before that sun goes down. But yeah, feel free to share that into the comments, y'all. Having a follow-up process. Yes, Thomas. Thomas is out here, y'all. If y'all haven't followed Thomas, please do. He's an amazing motivational speaker doing some really good work and a student. Congrats, Thomas. I know you just finished up a really big semester and got some work done. So I'm really proud of you and your progress. But I love that. Having a follow-up process is so important. Anyone else want to share their takeaway? Following up with previous clients. Yes, follow up with previous clients. Definitely. It's so important. That's something that I try to do every year at the top of the year. A really cool way to do that, Godmother, is if you have some capacity, sending out thank you emails or thank you notes to your previous clients. And then in that note saying, hey, I was wondering if you wanted to collaborate again in 2024. It's a great way to give gratitude, but also to position yourself to ask for another opportunity to work with them. So, really excited about that for you. All right, y'all. Well, thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate all y'all who have showed up and showed out and who are committed to growing your speaking business. And what I want to say to you all before I go, the reason I'm so passionate about this, y'all, is when I started Speaking for Profit University, I looked out into the field to see other folks like me, and I was really surprised to not see enough of us. So it's my mission to diversify the speaking and consulting industry with as many diverse people as possible. And I know that the people I attract, the people that are here today, the people that are watching this in a replay, you have a story and you have a mission and you have a purpose that the world deserves to hear, but you deserve to be compensated for it. So my vision is that in the next 5 to 10 years, we'll have 30, 40, 50,000 speakers and consultants who are getting paid six figures and above, and who are really able to take that wealth from their business to grow financial freedom so that we can free ourselves, y'all. So I'm so thankful that y'all are spending your most valuable resource with me, which is your time. And I'm really grateful for it when I say that. Like this idea was planted in me by spirit, and I just continue to be guided by it. And I know that your support is the reason that the work continues to work for me. So I just want to thank you all for all your support and continuing to show up, and not just for me, but showing up for yourself and showing up for your business. So thank you so much for being here. I will see you all next week, next Wednesday, for our next live training. Take some of this information, implement it, monetize your message, and I can't wait to see you speak for profit. All right, y'all. Happy New Year. Thank you so much for being here. Peace.